It's crazy that you have to think of that as lucky, because
If YouTube would stop sliding me back up those edit settings, I could actually put us on public. There we go. Neat. There we
are we
are.
alive?
We should be alive and live,
We're
both of the
we're
things.
alive. You know what else keeps people alive when they have polio?
Oh my god, is it an iron lung?
Yeah.
What? That's nuts. Okay.
It's also a video game, and now a film.
It is, it is. I'm just waiting for things to happen here on this dashboard because it tells me I'm live, but the dashboard hasn't done anything to do anything. Okay, there, yeah, things are happening, kind of.
Hey,
Hey, wall, hello.
you look live to me.
Okay, cool, cool. Okay, there's the the Gmail thingy. Okay, start. Okay, there we go. People are showing up. YouTube just is weird. Okay, sometimes it just doesn't. It says it's live, but then it's doing a weird thing where it doesn't do it actually. But yeah, hello. We have been Markiplied indeed. Yes, yes.
Yeah. I've been Markiplied since birth in some ways.
Oh my god. I don't understand.
Though he's
So,
Mark with a K, I am Mark with a C, so I
oh,
guess
the
technically
name.
not the same name.
I see. I that took me way too long to realize what you were doing there. Holy moly. Oh, come on, stupid bot of the discords. No,
I'm
just
just writing a tweet.
get rid of this. There we go. Hello everybody. Now that I've sorted out the things, and now OBS is doing another thing. Yes, that is fine. I don't need all the bandwidth because it's still images for the most part. But yes, here we are. I asked, no, we asked a bunch of people, and no one had time today, so it's just us. Sorry about that. You have to deal with only us. You can't cope with other guests today. It's full frontal assault of the Canadian and the German.
Yeah. It's an unlikely alliance, but you know.
Yeah, the internet makes things possible sometimes in crazy, crazy ways. Um, but yeah, that's what's going on. I don't really have a lot of preamble today because I've been streaming pretty often these days, so they've seen me twice this week already, and I've been playing Forspoken, and I only need to do the DLC, so that's all the preamble I have. I don't have anything new to add. Do you have anything fun and crazy that's been happening to you this week?
I mean, I guess kind of what I was telling you earlier. I was playing a play test for a game called Better Than Dead, which is a first-person shooter that's got kind of a body cam aesthetic, and is styled like an old Hong Kong John Woo action movie. It's pretty neat. You die really fast, but you also kill people really fast. You've got a bullet time mechanic, and the levels are very short. So even though almost like Hotline Miami style, where even though death is quick, the levels are short, so you kind of get the feel for where you need to go and what enemies you need to kill and who you need to prioritize, and then you get through it. And yeah, I think it was about 6 missions that were in the playtest that I played so far. Sent the developer some notes too, so hopefully the next version of the game will be slightly better, and it'll be indirectly because of me. And yeah, no, it was neat. So I'd at least recommend it enough to throw it on your Steam wish list. It's Better Than Dead. It's a
Ooh,
solo developed game too, and that is actually kind of relevant to this film, because the movie we're covering today is based on a game that was made by one guy.
yes, yes. So why no guess? They're lame and gay. Well, I asked the EFAP lads, but I think they're planning to do something with this themselves. So they're all out with that. And yeah,
Selfish
those
bastards.
bastards. What do they have like their own podcast or something?
Yeah,
Eat shit, man.
they're Forge Zero, I guess, if we're
Yeah.
EFAP 2.
The other one just did not have time. So that's just how this goes sometimes. And then sometimes
Yeah,
you have the
sometimes it do
opposite
be
where you
like that.
send out like a message to like 10 to 12 people and then all of a sudden everyone says yes and you're like, now I have to decide who can't come on because there's only
Yeah.
space for 10 people in Discord. But yeah, fun. No, it's just us. So yeah, the short version is they're big lame and big gay, obviously, as they are. um, but yeah, Iron Lung. Did you end up finishing it? I know you started it at some point, but you had to
The game.
stop at some point. Yeah.
I mean, like I did a 45-minute run
Okay.
and I died. I had not played it again since just because like I saw the movie the next day and it
Oh,
was
okay.
just like I don't even know if I need to go back and finish the game now because the movie gave like I did well, I watched forward for a playthrough because I'm like how much of the and this was after I saw the movie I was like how much of the like crazy shit that happens at the end of the movie is in the game and the answer is pretty much none of it. Um, the the ending of the game is I guess I don't know if I want to spoil it, but a thing happens that sort of happens in the movie, but with about a half an hour of the movie left to
Yeah,
go, and then
yeah.
everything that happens after that is very much expanded
I
on
mean,
in the
we
movie.
can we'll talk about it when we get there. Obviously, I
Mhm.
did my notes as best as I could after seeing the movie, so I think they're all in chronological order. So we can actually do like the standard format of just going from uh, front to back here in a
Cool.
sec. Uh,
I guess though I can kind of explain how the game plays, just so if no one's ever heard of Iron Lung, we have an idea of it.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'll pull up the pictures here in
so
a second. But before we go, like, if for some reason you're here and you don't know who Markiplier is, which is a possibility, but I feel with our audience a bit unlikely. Uh, uh, he's a big old YouTuber. He has how many subs does he have? Like 35 million by now or something. Actually,
like a shitload. He's
it's
like a
it's
PewDiePie tier one,
yeah,
like
he's
one of
been
the
around for a long
OGs.
time. I haven't watched him since the beginning. I kind of started watching him like a couple of years ago, especially after I've been made aware of Mauler. There's like a really cool Soma playthrough, and
Oh, really?
he really likes Soma. I'm pretty sure it's like one of his favorite games ever, which is based.
Yeah, I mean, Soma movie one. Like, I think you could actually do pretty well with that.
Yeah,
Although, I mean, I guess it would really only work if you do it in first person.
yeah, and I mean, yeah, he plays like in general he plays a lot of games, but he has like uh, a taste for tons of like indie horror games and just also the big horror games as well. I think like the last big one he played was actually Silent Hill. I didn't watch the playthrough. I'm curious what he thinks about that
The
game.
original Silent Hill
No,
or
the new
one of the
one. I
newer
think he
ones?
played the new one.
F
The one that we
or
like very
remake?
yeah, F.
Yeah, F. Cool.
But yeah, he's pretty chill. I like watching him. He's pretty funny. He has like he has like a pretty cool dynamic with his editor, which has like some fun
Go.
things. And I've seen some interviews with him, and he's like normal from what I understand, from what I've seen. Uh, so yeah, I know. I just enjoy watching him. He's pretty funny, and he seems very genuine. So and every time I say this about some YouTuber that's bigger, I say up until now at least, because I've been burned too many times with
Yeah.
something comes out. I
With the information that we know now, they seem like a
yeah
relatively chill person. You know, although, like YouTubers do tend to eventually have a scandal or something.
yeah,
But
but
I
he
mean, I guess I was in a bit of a lucky situation, like considering some of the comments I've heard about his acting in the movie and how people think about his performance. That I've only kind of been tangentially aware of Markiplier for all these years and never disliked him or anything.
hmm
Like I've always every time I would like see a clip of him, I'd be like, ah, this guy seems pretty funny. And then when I heard he was doing an Iron Lung movie, I checked out some of his stuff and I was like, yeah, like I mean, I could see this dude actually being pretty good in a movie. Like he's a pretty handsome guy, but like sort of unique. Look, almost looks like Keanu Reeves a little bit, and but he's like big, like muscular dude. So when I heard he was like making movies, I was like, yeah, I think he could do pretty well as an actor. But I don't have like enough time watching him where all I was seeing was Markiplier when I was watching the movie. Like, I mean, I saw the character he was playing, and like, it was no more aware of him being Markiplier as I am aware of Keanu Reeves while watching a Keanu Reeves movie. Right? It's like, of course, I know that it's not the actual character; that it's a guy playing the character.
yeah
But I guess like I think more people have a better context in their mind of his mannerisms and the way he like shouts and stuff that they'd be like, oh yeah, it's just like a Markiplier stream. Where for me, like I didn't have that effect. Like I was along for the ride of the movie, and I don't know if that
Yeah.
will be something that would affect the experience of someone who is like a big Markiplier fan or has watched like all
Hmm.
of his streams or a bunch of them. But yeah, no, I guess in conclusion, I thought he actually did quite well acting.
Yeah, I liked
There
him.
was
I think he
maybe the
did
odd
pretty
delivery here
good.
and there that was a bit strange, but
Hmm.
yeah, I thought he carried the movie pretty well.
Yeah. But in any case, he just plays a lot of horror games. I feel like that's like the most stuff he plays on his channel, from what I understand, and from what I've seen at least.
Well,
Uh,
for a while that was like the big thing to get streaming audiences, right? Like it's like you play a game that has
yeah,
like jump scares and people watch you because they want to see you freak out when the scary thing happens. But
yeah. But he
Iron
apparently
Lung is
he
actually sorry, oh sorry, go ahead.
yeah he just basically he just never stopped with that. He's just checking out all these little indie games. I think it's like this format where he plays like three random uh indie horror games or something, and then he just like a I guess like a small review, you could say, if he thinks it's good or not. And there's been some way just stopped the game. I think it was like, yeah, this no, three scary games. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. But yeah, he found some fun stuff in there, and yeah, I think one of the biggest things is because he likes Soma so much. There's like a feeling. It's like, oh, he understands this kind of horror that Iron Lung provides and Soma. It's not this movie is not a. I just call it Fear Flash. Not a Fear Flash fest. It's not a scare jump fest.
Not a jump scare
Yeah,
fest. Yeah, like there's really not a lot, if any, jump scares in the entire movie,
yeah.
which I really appreciated. It focuses on the tension of the danger of the situation, and
Mm-hmm.
I found even like during the beginning, which like again I've been hearing that, oh man, like that first half an hour or first hour was like really boring. I was like, I don't know, I was pretty locked in.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe because I played like a run of the game like the night before I saw it, that I kind of understood the tension that the game provides, which I hear. I guess we'll do a section where I kind of briefly describe the gameplay of the game. But did you have anything that you wanted to add before we do that? I don't want to like just jump right into that because
No,
it'll probably be like 5 minutes.
just wrapping up that I had hope for this movie because I had a feeling he understands how horror works for the most part, and that it's not just jump scares everywhere and just excite the people for a second and then just lull them in for 30 minutes with nothing is happening. So I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. And I guess in 2022 he played Iron Lung, and he had a vision, I guess, and he uh, I guess he teamed up with the maker. God, I always forget his name. He has like
David Zemansky.
Zemansky. That there you go.
Yeah,
Always have trouble
developer of one of my
remembering that
favorite
name. I don't know
games
why.
ever.
And yeah, I guess they worked together and made this movie a thing, starting in 2022, and now it is out. I think it's
Hmm.
it's yeah, it's neat. I'm gonna go on with this now. Actually, I think I should do this now before we get into how the game works, because that's gonna go into the mechanics of the movie as well and how they
Sure.
adapted this. So luckily, I stumbled upon a tweet earlier today, and I sent that one to you. That actually summarizes what happened with this pretty well. And I'm hang on, I'll just show it here. For some reason, it's not showing up right now because computers are good and cool. Where's the thingy? There we go.
I
That
do not
should
know
do it.
where the thingy is.
No, I
You
have.
you
I'm
know
just
you
trying
know the
to.
thing.
I just needed to be on a thing. There we go. So this is from Akash Gupta. I don't know who this is. This just popped up, but it's like a really good summary of what was going on. So, Markiplier, YouTuber with 38 million subscribers, just beat the entire Hollywood studio system at its own game. And he did it with 80,000 gallons of fake blood and a submarine made of painted wood. Which is like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Markiplier played
I
a
didn't even
six.
use iron.
Boo. Played a $6 indie horror game on his channel in 2022. Game was Iron Lung, developed by one guy, David Szymanski, as we just pointed out,
Yeah,
in his spare
big
time.
fan.
No windows, no enemies you could see. No enemies you could see, just a convict trapped in a submarine navigating an ocean of blood. The entire thing took about 75 minutes to beat. Fischbach, or I guess if I would say it in German, Fischbach, which is pretty funny. I think I had a classmate that had that last name. Anyway, saw something in the game industry didn't. The constraint was the feature. A single claustrophobic set, a man losing his mind, sound design carrying all the horror that visuals couldn't. This wasn't a limitation to work around. This was a low-budget filmmaker's dream. So he did what studios would never greenlight. He wrote the script himself, directed it himself, acted in it himself, edited himself, and paid for the whole thing out of pocket. No studio, no distribution deal, no marketing budget. It's like, damn. Yeah, and then the gatekeeper showed up. I guess they mean like the cinemas and stuff, because when he tried to get theaters, they told him the demand wasn't there. So he posted about it. His fans called every independent theater chain in the country. Theater started complaining to the distributor that they were getting too many calls. I was like, damn. Within weeks, AMC, Cinemark, and Regal announced they'd carry it. The film went from maybe 60 theaters to over 4,000 screens worldwide. Pre-sales crossed 5 million before opening day, 8.9 million on Friday, 17 million projected by Sunday, which is now 18, by the way.
On.
So already made the money back, like triple the budget already, or more.
Focused horror movies for the win.
A self-distributed movie by a YouTuber beating initial projections by 70%. The studio model is built on the assumption that audiences need to be told what to watch. Fischbach proved that 38 million subscribers is its own distribution network. The audience was already waiting. He just had to make something worth waiting for. That's how it works.
Right on, yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was a pretty great summary of what happened. I was shocked that it was running in my local cinema. Actually, 2 screenings, one on Friday and one on Saturday. And my cinema was over halfway full. I haven't seen this in my local cinema in a while. And I watched a bunch of big movies that have like 2 to 3 showings every day.
Yeah, 100%. This was the most crowded theater I've been in quite some time. It's also like a smaller chain that was basically like a bunch of converted old shitty mall theaters where they took out the crappy seats and just put in like recliners. So it's a cheap theater, but it's one that's pretty nice to see movies in, and it's actually on my way home from work. And I was shocked to see this not only playing, but like you could get advanced tickets for it, which they don't do for every movie. Like sometimes you can only get movie tickets for the week that it's out. But I think the reason I brought this up about a week ago was I was actually, funny enough, looking for tickets for Return to Silent Hill, which we're going to be covering next week, which is not playing at that theater. And I was like, oh shit, Iron Lung. And then I said to Metal, I was like, hey, do you want to cover Markiplier's Iron Lung movie? And then when I got to the theater, just absolutely packed.
Yeah.
Like there was, it wasn't sold out, but I don't think I've seen a sold out movie at least at this theater, especially ever.
I should also add to my screening. My screening was at 11 p.m. at night, and it's an English movie in Germany, and it was like 60-70% booked, something along those lines. Normally, I sit alone in these cinemas when I'm going at like 8 p.m. and I go watch fucking Marvel New Slop.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like I was just gonna say, it's like every Marvel slop or like Superman or like any superhero movie or big like Hollywood film that I've seen at this theater, it's like me and one other person.
Yeah.
28 years later, like the previous week, it was me and I think a couple and then 2 teenagers at the very back, and that was pretty much it.
I think the last one that was similar in terms of being booked was probably Deadpool and Wolverine, I think.
Yeah, I saw that at a bigger theater, so it might be harder to judge. But yeah, that was pretty packed.
Yeah, but yeah, it's if you have something to offer that people would be interested in, and you can get the word out, pretty naturally as well. Because I don't know what he posted where it's like, yeah, I'm trying to get this out, but they're kind of blocking it, and then they just started doing it. It's kind of funny because this forge almost didn't happen because when you first asked me, I was like, I don't have a screening anywhere close to me. I would need to travel like 2 hours one way and then back to actually see a screening in Cologne in some cinema. And then I think I watched a Markiplier video, and he just pointed out, like, yeah, we have this website that just shows all the things. And then just typed in my city. There was a day after. I was like, wait a second, that's my cinema. The fuck? There's two screenings now. They weren't there yesterday. And I was like, we're doing this. I'm gonna go watch it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was
I was
cool.
even offering to sponsor a trip to Cologne for him. I'll be like, yeah, I'll take it out of my cut for this episode,
Which is
and
funny you did this
we'll do
because
a Dark Side Phil Tip goal. We gotta pay for Metal's hotel that he had to get to see this movie.
yeah, that would be such a scam because I have friends in Cologne. I could just stay there, and I also have like I guess they call it it's called the Germany ticket, so I can just use public transportation for like a fixed amount a month, which I get from work. it was
Yeah, that's
just
pretty good.
it was just
Wait, does that just take you anywhere in the country, like via rail?
yes, but
Jesus.
you can't do like all the fastest ones. So I could go all the way to like I don't know Berlin if I take like all the trams and trains that are not ICEs, that go fast. So that would take a load of time, but it would be free technically.
Huh. Yeah, no, there's a lot of ground to cover in Canada. That would be a difficult service for them to provide.
Yeah. The problem was mostly the time it aired because 11 p.m. Like the way there would have been like 1.5 to 2 hours depending on the connection, but the way back when you leave at like I think it's ended at like 1:30 a.m. I just got the last one that was close to me, the last train, so that was lucky. I didn't need to take a taxi. That would have been annoying.
Yeah, and I didn't realize you had a friend in Cologne, but like that's kind of why I said like if you need to get a hotel because I was like if you're traveling an hour and a half via public transit for an 11 p.m. show at a 2 hour and 10 minute movie, which is probably the thing that could have been cleaned up about this movie that both Metal and I were
Oh yeah,
discussing with each other. It
absolutely.
goes a little long for this type of film, but yeah, that's what kind of was like. I don't want you, I don't want you to have to travel and like get home at 5 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah. But basically, what I'm trying to say is here, if you have like a dedicated fan base, a large following, and a very good word of mouth, and people being passionate about your project, you can make things happen. Especially if you're not tied to any big company and put everything in your own basket, pay for yourself and everything. Because I'm pretty sure there was no Kickstarter or anything. He just did it because he wanted to do it, and I think by his own by his own words that he said on a podcast, which I think of all things was a Logan Paul podcast. Uh, I think they talked about money, and he basically said, "I made an ungodly amount of money. I don't understand what I'm supposed to do with it." which which is one of the things like, oh, you're normal, you're not like going insane because you have a lot of money. It's like, yeah, I have all this money, I don't need more money, this is insane. He's like super grateful for it, but he doesn't really, so I guess he just does projects he's interested in, like Iron Lung. So yeah, it's cool.
Indeed.
um but yeah, that's your Markiplier preamble and how all this happened. I found it very interesting how it all turned out. um yeah, I guess it's a good way to lead into what you were trying to do is explain the concept of the game or the mechanics of the game. And I'm just gonna uh, put up here the I guess your main controls in the game. Yeah, you are in an iron tube, a submarine that's completely welded shut. There is a window in front of you, but this has also be shuttered down so it doesn't the glass doesn't break. And yeah, Mark, go ahead. You got it.
Yeah, so the gameplay of it is pretty interesting in that it's mostly about navigation. So you have a map, that shows your points of interest that you need to get to. And what these things are things that you items, I guess, I don't know, really good subjects, I guess that's probably the best term, subjects that you need to take a photo of with the camera. That's the green button that's sort of at the back of the sub. To get to it though, you have a map that does not show your location. The way you navigate is using XY, latitude and longitude, grid coordinates, and referencing what it says on your screen, your little kind of LEDs that show your latitude and longitude, and then kind of plot your grid based on the map by looking at it and kind of just kind of using the mouse to be like, okay, X here, Y there. So you do have to think quite a bit while while you're playing it, and all you can do to control is move forward, move backwards, and turn the sub that
Yeah.
shows your angle. And the
One
angle is
second.
also
I'll
kind of
just show the map here real quick. I just
okay.
pulled it up. So this is the map you're working with. So you got the numbers on the left and the right on the bottom. If you've seen maps like this before, grid system, numbers on the left and on the bottom, and the subjects are the little markers there on the
Yeah,
map.
it's like a little
So
square.
it seems like you have like this tunnel system underwater in the blood ocean, and just to show the numbers here on the right, those are the coordinates you will move to, or you are currently at. Sorry, that's where yeah.
Yeah, and your angle dial is like a degrees system, so it goes 1 to 300 or 0, sorry, slash 360 to all the way around back to 360. So you can move that angle and then press either forward or move backward and then see how your latitude and longitude coordinates are changing, and that'll kind of give you a good idea how to most quickly get to where you need to go. The thing is, if you get too close to a wall or an object, a little kind of sonar indicator will start flashing based on
Mm.
how close you are to it. And the reason I ended up failing my 45-minute run after getting I got all the subjects in the bottom half of the map, but I couldn't figure out how to get to the top of the map because the the map sort of is it still on screen actually? I'm only
Now
looking
it
at the
is.
chat, not okay. So the top section has sort of a blurred area between the bottom half of the map and the top half of the map. And in trying to get through that, I ended up hitting a wall and dying.
Damn
But
it.
the entire time I was playing it, I was super locked in. Like I was just like, maybe it's because like time in the army, like I've had to do a lot of coordinate based navigation. Granted, while walking on land, I'm not in the Navy, so I've never had to be in a submarine doing it, especially one where I have no concept of what the world around me that I'm navigating actually looks like. But it is a very intense, a very thought intensive and atmospheric game, despite being so simple in that it's this one little room that you're playing the game in. And the movie adds a couple elements that are almost a bit like Resident Evil-y, where like he'll like they open a little um what am I looking for?
Little
Not
compartment or
cupboard.
something.
Yeah, like I don't know, like a door thing, drawer, and find a key or not a key, it's like a bracelet and then a
Yeah,
note.
yeah.
That note is in the game, but it's just on the floor of the sub. Like you don't really have to go searching for it. So I thought it was kind of neat that there was a bit more mystery that they added into the movie that I guess we'll go into there. But it's not a very expensive game. I have a feeling it's probably going to be on sale right now. And if that type of claustrophobic like navigation based horror is sounds interesting to you, I definitely think you should give Iron Lung a shot. Not to mention some of the points of interest that you take photos of get pretty creepy. It's
Yeah.
like that's that's outside of me, outside of my sub right now, huh? Okay.
Yep.
Well, I guess we'll move on to the next one. And
You're
yeah,
correct, by the way. It is currently 50% on sale. You can get it for €3 and 90 cents.
yeah, that do be a thing that happens when an adaptation of a game comes
Yeah.
out. It tends to get really cheap on Steam. It's actually, I think, why Devil May Cry 5 sold so well in the last year. just because the crappy Netflix show.
Yeah. Oh wait. So this is the camera station. So when you turn around, you have this box that has like the green light on it. You click on it, and then you get one of these spooky pictures that are like black and white going on. So I think the side I have here gives some more pictures. If you want like weird shit like this, for example, and like what are those tubes? Are some weird tentacles? You don't know. Sometimes the pictures are a bit like super weird looking, and you can kind of fucks with your head. It's like, oh, this could be. Is this like a face, or is this just a weird rock formation or something? So I think it's just a really effective way to, show you what's outside while you don't get the actual visual at all times. And obviously they can play around with it, because if you have like a if you have one of those lights go on, and suddenly it moves from the right to the front to the left, and you're like, oh shit, what's that? Is it just some weird debris floating around that just happened to hit the sensors, or is there maybe something else out there that I can't see? And then you kind of
Yeah.
just start going around, because the thing on the top left here on the panel, that's your direction, the direction you're facing right now. So you can slowly move it to the left, and then you can do another picture, and it's like, ooh, is this a wall? Okay, so let's go a bit further. Okay, there's a little gap. Let's go through there, and then you can just navigate through all of this, and it's yeah, from what I understand, a very intense thing to play. I never got around playing it myself, but I've seen videos about it and about the endings, and it looked very cool as a concept. I think it's a awesome concept. And of course, you have the depth meter here, and on the right, you have the oxygen meter, of course.
Yeah. And I knew I could gauge the length of the game and know that I was about three-quarters of the way through it at my 45-minute point of death, because I think the oxygen will indicate how much time you've got left.
Hmm.
And yeah, I was on one bar, so I was like, okay, it's probably about 15 minutes left in this game, but I
Right.
died, and now I need to go to bed because I have to work in the morning.
I know that feel. Uh, but yeah, so this is the concept and the mechanics that were adapted into the movie, and I mean, I guess that's what they did. Um,
Hmm.
Let me see. I think that's all the context one would need to go into this movie. Uh, I mean, I think you can just watch this movie by itself. I think that you don't need to play the game or know Markiplier memes to to understand what was going on. It's very disconnected from his internet persona, I guess, because he's just
Hmm.
playing a character. He's not playing Markiplier in there. And I guess you mentioned it before, where you're talking about you don't watch him really, so you're not aware of his like mannerisms and stuff. There's a bunch of like inflections in his voice that sound super familiar if you watch the videos. That is noticeable, but I don't think it's
Yeah, and
like
I was seeing a lot of comments about that too on Twitter. That's like, yeah, no, the movie's like okay, but like there's so many moments where I could just see Markiplier, and I'm like, oh, well, I didn't get that negative effect. Like I saw convict
yeah,
name revealed later.
yeah. But I don't know. I didn't have a problem with it. I think it did a really good job with the acting. And
Yeah, yeah.
I was in it. I guess overall I can say now I did like this movie. I did like this movie. It wasn't great. I'll happily call it good at the moment, unless Mark points out some more flaws or something. But I think like for especially for like a first project and making it completely by yourself, it's I think it's pretty good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I definitely enjoyed it way more than anything else I've watched in the cinema the last couple of years. I can tell you that much. That's an
Mhm.
easy one.
The Chainsaw Man Reze probably beats it for me, but it's difficult to compare those two. That said, like live action movie wise, yeah, I'd say like this and Weapons are probably the only things I've enjoyed in the last 365 days in a movie theater for live action stuff. And yeah, I like this movie quite a bit. I thought that it it maybe suffers from being, as we were saying, like a little on the long side. I think like a couple parts could have been trimmed down a bit, But I actually think the beginning that I've seen a lot of people say is like the boring part of the movie. I kind of think that a lot of the slow pace in the beginning is sort of important just because that sets the atmosphere of this thing. And I don't know that maybe it's because I have played the game, or I did play the game, at least ran through it once unsuccessfully. That I got the atmosphere that they were targeting. So
Mm.
the slower opening half hour where you're just kind of like getting a feel for being in this submarine. I understood the purpose of it, and that might be affecting my opinion. But
Mm-hmm.
I've always liked horror movies that have this kind of focus where
Yeah.
it's not trying to do anything but put you in the mind of the protagonist. And I think this movie did it quite well. I even maybe would have cut out some of the flashbacks that are very short, granted, but I didn't even think those were particularly necessary, and they're really the only
Yeah.
scenes that
Oh,
exist outside. Sorry.
no, sorry. I was just doing a noise.
Oh, okay. Well, they're really the only scenes that exist outside of the submarine, but other than that, this movie you're in this environment with the protagonist for essentially the entire runtime of the film.
Mm-hmm.
And because of how dangerous the situation is, and it's the type of danger where there's not a big monster or enemy that you can see for, well, at least a lot of it. It's just the at any point you could crash into something, or the hull could breach, or you could run out of oxygen. It's that kind of desperate horror that I thought was really engaging, and you don't see it too much these days. But for a writer director star passion project, self-funded, this is like 100% the type of movie that people should be trying to make, like where it's like, hey, one set, a couple characters,
Yeah.
focused story, and yeah, and then just atmosphere and tension. And
Yep.
I gotta say, I think pretty satisfying conclusion too. Even though some of the people that were in the theater with me, granted a few of them seemed to be like teenagers, were really pissed off when the movie ended. I was like, oh, well,
Maybe they
I
wanted
think they
the.
needed more information as to what happens afterwards. But I was kind of okay with what we got. Yeah, overall positive opinion though. Again,
Yeah.
like yeah, not perfect movie. I wouldn't be saying, oh, this is a 10 out of 10. It's one of the best horror movies ever made. But I think if you feel like going to a movie and watching a pretty interesting film, then being just in a space for a runtime and not traveling all over to a bunch of different environments, this is definitely a movie that you will not be disappointed in.
Yeah. Why does it sound like Metal is asking for permission to like a movie? A side effect of spending too much time with EFAB, no doubt.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I've seen when I've first seen Deadpool Wolverine, it was like, yeah, it was pretty fun, and then I thought about it again. It was like, oh no, this is shit. Because you get scared sometimes when you see something decent, where you're thinking, is the bar just so low that you think this is good, or is this actually like decent? So it's always nice to just think back on it. And yes, EFAB does that to you sometimes. That is, I can't deny that.
Yeah. There's the along for the ride with what the movie's doing viewing, and then there's
Mm,
the okay, let's pick this apart and see if it actually makes any sense. And
yeah,
at the very least, my along for the ride viewing was enjoyable.
yeah,
I did not regret spending the money on the ticket, which as much as like the only reason I don't regret spending the money on tickets for things like Bone Temple or Superman or Fantastic Four or Thunderbolts is because I know that I have a show to put on that
yeah,
I need to see these films for. And but if I was just a viewer and didn't have any kind of podcast, I would walk out of all those movies just wanting to die.
yeah. Did you enjoy it more than Shelby Oaks? I didn't watch Shelby Oaks,
Yeah, we didn't see neither of us did
but I've seen
actually. I think
Platoon's video on it, and I'm pretty confident in saying that yes, it's very likely better than Shelby Oaks.
yeah,
uh,
funny enough, like Shelby Oaks, when I was watching the EFAP on it, I was like, man, a lot of this is just like ripped straight out of Silent Hill. Like it's
right.
like he wrote a Silent Hill fan fiction. But I guess that's kind of funny that like there is a Silent Hill adaptation out now that apparently is pretty bad, but we'll be seeing it and talking about it in the coming week.
Yeah.
But this one was a video game adaptation that was just pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah, let's just jump right in. We get an intro narration from Troy Baker. That's his name, right? Uh,
Yeah, of The Last
Basically,
of Us.
the universe shit's fucked. That's the very short version.
Mhm.
uh, Something happened that caused what they call the quiet rapture, which makes everything disappear, stars, planets, and the way I understood it is that there's only space stations left, and they found this moon that has a blood ocean on it, that has like some anomaly on it, and they're trying to figure out what's going on there, and hopefully get some clues as to what is going on, and maybe even stop this quiet rapture or reverse it or something. And the way they say it, humanity is at a point where there's too many to feed, but too little to rebuild. Which, yeah, bad times.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
And so here I already have to mention a big problem that is throughout this movie. The audio balancing for dialogue and voiceovers is pretty
Yeah, I
bad.
could use some work, especially towards the end.
I every time there's like something with voice or dialogue, I had a really hard time to understand. Uh, Even with the beginning voiceover, which is a shame because the audio is really good for everything else. But when people are talking, or there are some voice logs we hear at some point that are also really hard to understand. And I would really like to hear what they say, but I could only hear bits and bobs here and there, and that was a shame. It's a bit annoying because my first thought when this happens is always, oh, maybe it's in the cinema. But I actually talked to Mahler about the movie right when I came back home because he saw it like he started watching it an hour before me in his cinema, and he said, no, I had that problem too, and now you say as
Yeah,
well. So
same in mine. Yeah,
yeah, which is a shame.
especially when the voice that is essentially the operator, the handler, changes and like it becomes the guy for the first time.
Hmm.
There were a couple things he said that I was just like, I want to turn on subtitles.
Yes,
Like,
same.
I was like, I did not understand the words you
There's a
just said
reason
at
why
all.
these days I always have subtitles on when I watch a movie and they're available. It's like, man, sometimes
I
things are
tend to
hard to understand.
not, but there will be times when I'm watching a movie that like a thing is said that I don't clearly understand, and then I'll
Hmm.
like back it up a bit and throw the subtitles on just to make sure that I got it. But yeah, no, there like a lot of people though are like I can't watch a film without subtitles, and I've never quite understood that, but it definitely does make situations like this just not an issue.
Yeah, yeah, it's a shame, but that's your small word building thing. I think there's like a text crawl in the game in the beginning. Was that just taken
Yeah, it's like a
one by?
splash screen.
Was that just taken one for one? I didn't
Pretty much, yeah.
check
It's
unfortunately, but
like
I think it
yeah,
was pretty
if it's
close.
not the exact same words
Yeah,
said, it's pretty close.
yeah, because I didn't double check, but it sounded pretty familiar to me from the playthroughs I've seen and the videos about the game. So yeah, shame about the audio though. Uh, anyway, we see that Markiplier is playing the convict in this, and that's what you are in this game as well. You're a convict sent on this mission, and the idea is you do this mission, you bring us something useful back up to the surface, and you're free.
Yeah.
Uh, we start with him getting a very small briefing, which kind of says, "Yeah, you welded in shut. You have to close the shutter in the front. Look out for possible sparks and fires." Where he wonders if this thing was even tested, and they say, "This is the test," and then they just start lowering him down. And this is where we start, like I don't know, it's like 20 minutes or something, where he just explores the submarine, checks it out, looks at some folders with manuals in it. He figures out the camera. I guess we already explained the camera system earlier in the game. It works exactly the same. He has a big green button. There's a big screen to the left of it. He presses it, and then the camera goes off in the front at the front of the submarine and shows you the picture. Works exactly the same as in the game. We see there's a little fire extinguisher going on. We got the oxygen levels. The panel looks pretty much exactly the same, but they switched the straight up big buttons to move left and right the
Yeah,
direction.
it's more of a throttle now.
Yeah, it's like a throttle that you like turn left and right, uh, and also yeah, they did a throttle for front and back, forward and backwards.
Yeah.
And yeah, as I said, the idea is get them something useful from down there, and he'll be free, because he has been accused of blowing up one of the space stations, and throughout the movie, it's kind of a little bit of a mystery if he actually did it or just took the blame. The thing is, I'm actually still not entirely sure because I didn't understand a bunch of the dialogue. And
Yeah, I think there was a bit of ambiguity there that
yeah,
like maybe he did not know what his group's plan was, but it was the group that he was with that destroyed it,
mm,
and they basically ran off and left him with the blame, even though he thought he didn't know that that's what he was signing up for. So it's one of those things that it's like maybe he does have some responsibility in that he was with the group of I mean, I guess terrorists or like I don't know, like people that were trying to do something for a cause that they believed in and that he thought he believed in, but
hmm
he also didn't realize that he was going to end up killing a whole bunch of people and yeah, destroying one of humanity's last bastions of yeah, survival.
yeah. So that whole space station he was on is just gone. They blew it up somehow, be it an accident or some cause. Yeah, I would need to rewatch it to see if there's like a straight up answer. But at this point, it could be either way. I don't know if someone in chat like knows. I don't think that's like a thing in the game, right? Because you basically just convict, right? You don't have this whole blowing up a space station thing with you. At least I don't remember it.
Yeah,
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think the convict is given much backstory. That said, like I did one run in the game and I was
Mm-hmm.
not checking the terminal constantly, and I think there's also stuff like you can type a word into the terminal and then get
Mm-hmm.
more lore. I've also not done a big lore deep dive. I know that there are quite a few videos out there on Iron Lung lore, so I don't know that I'm confident in saying that this is not definitely 100% not in the game at all, but it was not obviously in the game that I saw as far as I got.
Right. Okay.
That's yeah, I know. Super specific answer, but I'm doing my best to not sound like a poser that's like, "Oh yeah, that's not in the game. It's just for the movie." Yeah.
Wow, not a real
The
YouTuber. Just pretend you know
uncertainty makes it
everything. That's
better.
how it goes.
No, no, I don't want to be that guy. I hate that guy.
Uh, Someone chat says, "So Raf," and it says, "The game doesn't have much of a story. It's just one of those we need an excuse to justify your existence in this setting." Yeah, that's fair. Uh,
Well, I
there.
mean, again, there are lore videos though, which is why I'm not super confident saying that there's none of that in the actual game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, sure, sure. But it becomes
I know that a
clear.
lot of it is probably delivered in text through the terminal though, as opposed to like
Hmm.
dialogue. I think the only voice acting in the game, at least that I saw, was the guy telling you what the deal is as you're being lowered into the blood ocean.
They also use the map that is in the game. Uh,
Mhm.
so that's just a neat thing to do. They just use the
And
same map.
Markiplier can take notes on it.
Yeah, he can take notes of it, which he does. He just scribbles a whole bunch of things in there when he finds something interesting and puts it on the map. But he makes his way into the depths. He goes around, and pretty quickly it becomes clear that while the submarine does hold up, it is a patchwork project at best. There's multiple places that have small droplets coming in, not enough to destabilize it, but enough to make you worry while you're being trapped inside this iron machine that could just burst in any minute. Like it's just
Especially
great
when you've been
for
told that you're the test run too. It's like,
yes,
oh,
yeah.
so you actually don't even know if this is safe or going to work.
And it's just great for tension because it just plays with this familiar feeling of seeing something small that worries you. Like the best thing I could come up with is like you hear like a weird noise from your PC, wondering if it's about to turn into dust or something, or you see like a droplet coming out of a tube that's not supposed to be there, it's supposed to be tight. Obviously, the big difference being that on one hand, you get a new tube and just replace it on your sink and you're fine. While here, if the tube is leaking and it breaks, you're dead. This thing
Yeah.
just decompress, like fully compresses, and you're fucked. Uh,
Yeah. Sound design plays a big role in the game too. I
yeah,
will say the dogs, not a fan of me playing Iron Lung. There was a lot of sounds that were making them be like, what? No.
yeah, and that's the second
Rocky starts
thing.
just like barking at my monitor. I'm
Yeah,
just like, buddy, it's okay.
and that plays into it as well. You have all these creaking sounds, weird noises from the bottom of the ocean, uh, which is just a great sense of isolation and the panic. Or I don't, is panic like a good word for it? There's probably a better word for it.
Tension,
Tension, yeah,
tension
the tension
probably.
and isolation while you're
Dread.
down there. Dread is also a good one, yeah.
It's also a
You
good
can you
Metroid
can
game.
feel it. And again, the audio design here, also in the movie and the game, works really well. It's just like, ooh,
Hmm.
this is uncomfy, not a comfy place to be in. There's also a radio system that gives him the ability to talk to the base, which sometimes works and sometimes doesn't.
Hmm.
Uh,
I was actually like, I mean, I guess from the experience of like my playthrough of the game the night before, I was surprised that the radio worked as much as it did in the film because
yeah, and I
at
think
least
that's a mistake. I think that's one of the big things that I would have probably either went all in on or just make it way less with the radio. Um, it's just weird because sometimes there's like long stretches where it just doesn't work at all, and sometimes they just talk for like 10 minutes. I think they should have opted to have it either on the whole time and elaborate
the
on the
world.
relationship between the convict and the captain, or whatever her title would be.
I think Ava's her name
Ava, yeah,
eventually,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And Simon being the convict.
Yeah, or have it just completely silent and maybe even replace it with a, I don't know, like a fax machine or some weird shit like this. I don't know. Uh, like, because
Or
they
like
have,
Morse code up on the screen.
yeah, and also it's just like they have this arc going on where they are bullshitting him that he's like the first one, and obviously he's not, and he figures out that he's not, and I don't know. This arc doesn't really work for me because I don't really care about these guys' relationship. It's a bit wonky because it goes from we hate each other to yeah, we have like some kind of an understanding that we should get this done. It's just really weird, and we go back up to the surface for a bit, which I'm not a big fan of either, where they have a conversation as well, which is just weird. Um,
Well, a conversation and then an event that happens
that
that I
event, I don't like that
yeah.
at all. I think that was
Yeah.
one of the big mistakes of this movie. I think that was not a great choice.
Yeah, and I think that it also probably could have cut some time out
Yes,
if they removed
yes.
that subplot because it I guess added a little bit, but it also I think was not super successful in its goal, which I believe was to create another level of guilt for the character to be dealing with.
I don't. Yeah, the thing is,
And then
I don't even think there's like we didn't need this. It didn't add anything. I'll get to it when we get there, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah.
But I didn't like it. That's the the short version. uh, but yeah, he just kind of makes his way uh through the thing and gets to his first thing, and he ultimately finds a big old skeleton of a big scary monster thingy, and tells the peeps topside that it's here. And I think at this point is the first time he gets rammed by some crazy big monster, and he doesn't really know he doesn't really know what is going on yet. But he like gets yeeted around the submarine, breaks his chair, and yeah,
And
that's like
and
his first hint that maybe there's something else down here. I don't know. This is a bit fucked and probably not worth being freed for because I'm probably just gonna die.
yeah. And I guess little production kind of nicety here is that like all that him being thrown around is practical because
Yeah,
they built the set on this like hydraulic rig, almost the type that like if you've ever been to one of those rides at an amusement park where there's just like you're in a
Oh,
little
yeah, like
movie
the
theater with the screen and the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
kind of room that you're in shakes. Yeah, it's basically one of those that they built, and yeah, Markiplier is really physically getting thrown around. There's not like, well, I mean, I guess there is some CG in the movie, but like not as far as the environment. He's not just CG Markiplier hitting a wall. It's like no, he they tilted the thing really quickly and he fell back and hit a wall. That's how they did that, which I thought
Nice.
was pretty neat. And it shows commitment on his part. He's like, I might literally get injured while making this film, but yeah,
Yeah,
we're doing it.
definitely committed to the project, which is always great. Um, yeah, he tells the peeps topside. They have a slight discussion, like a little bit off the microphone. You can kind of hear him a little bit, and they decide to get him back up, which they do. Up topside, they have a slight discussion about how he doesn't want to do this anymore. It's like, this is not worth it. Just get me out of here. It's like, no, we need to do you something else. Again, you're welded in here, so we can't really risk breaking the seal and just fuck shit up. So you have to go back down there and get a sample from that big bone. And Simon at this point is like freaking out because he's been hearing a bunch of noises down there, and he saw the proximity tracker go crazy. And yeah, no, they're not listening to him. There's something going on down there, and something is down there that is not just bones. So this is not worth it. Get me out of here. Might as well just execute me.
Yeah.
And she tells him that this is not only about him. This is like for the big cause for humanity. And they attach a big old, like some grabby, stabby thing at the front of the sub to get one of these samples. And the way it works is you have to just ram it right into the bone as hard as you can and retrieve it. And they assure him that the sub can take it. And then at some point here, he panics and gets angry and just kind of fiddles with the controls and everything. And he hits the camera button, and now he gave 2 or 3 people turbo X-ray aids from the camera,
Super cancer, instant leukemia.
practically
Take
killing
that.
them all. Which was
Yeah.
like, oh, it makes a really cool picture because you can see like the skeletons of the people.
Yeah, I did really like the picture. That's fair.
It's pretty gruesome, pretty frightening. Uh, he didn't know this is a thing. Like they didn't tell him that they have like this big X-ray cancer machine in front of his fucking submarine. Their explanation being, yeah, it's like blood they can't see with a normal camera or something. Uh,
Which
I
I mean that makes sense at least. Like a camera works by capturing light, so
sure,
if your
sure,
ocean is made of thick, not transparent blood, you would need something else to take photographs.
yeah,
Though I mean, you figure that something involving sound waves would work also as opposed to just radiation beam.
yeah.
Though I guess one thing that kind of saved the ridiculousness of them being in a situation where he even could hurt them that badly is the guy on the radio when he goes back down says that yeah that wasn't supposed to be able to happen, like that someone made a mistake, that there was
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be like a safety that prevented that camera from going off when he's on the station, but
Yeah,
yeah.
they give an explanation, and the way it's acted, and that he's like, he feels guilty for it. That's all nice and good. I don't mind that. I just think ultimately it doesn't really add anything because he's like not a convict that is like angry or wants to kill everybody. Like I think that becomes very clear from the get go.
Mhm.
So I just think the whole thing going up, like going topside in general, I don't think that really adds anything. Like all the characteristics we still have those if we just get rid of that complete section and just have him have the stabby grabby thing from the get go.
I honestly think the main purpose of it was to give Ava a face so that like you have someone in your
Probably,
mind while
yeah.
she's talking. But I think they also probably could have done that before they lower him down to begin with. Like have her talking to him for a bit before he goes
Yeah.
down.
apparently it killed Jacksepticeye's character. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Oh, that was Jacksepticeye?
Yeah, he
I didn't
was
realize that.
one of those guys. I was trying to figure out which one it is, but it makes I think it was that guy. Yeah. Yeah. So
Well,
because the guy that was installing the thing, he got blasted like straight up, and he just vomited, probably blood. Uh, but yeah, I
oh,
know.
I mean, maybe not blood, but you would immediately vomit when hit with that much radiation for
Right.
sure. Like just everything in your stomach is not going to be in there anymore. You'd be so queasy.
Yeah.
You might
But
be vomiting blood later, but I don't know about right away.
uh, but yeah, I thought it's already pretty clear he already has like a bad conscience because of the space station being gone and being responsible slash taking the blame for it. Uh, yeah, I don't know. It almost makes me wonder if this would have worked better if we had like an actual like super criminal, for lack of a better term, and him being a like I don't know, more intelligent about the things that happen sometimes. I don't know. I'm trying to find the best words to describe it. Like maybe have like an actual bad person being the convict might have been a cool thing to do, where they're
Yeah,
worried.
someone who actually has a moral failing that they might need to overcome, as opposed to it being ambiguous as to whether or not he was even a bad person at all. Although,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I don't know. I did think that him struggling with the destruction of Filament Station in some scenes did did make it at least what would be the word for it? It made me think about whether he is in denial about being
Mm-hmm.
as guilty as he was, or if he actually like is just an innocent person who just got caught up in the wrong stuff. But I don't know that the movie makes that 100% clear, but I think it does also kind of lean towards no, he was actually just a victim in all this. Like
Mm.
he was the one that didn't understand what was happening until it was too late, but he wouldn't have participated in it if that was the case. And it's possible that the truth could be he totally knew what was going to happen, but then just felt a ton of guilt after it happened, so is now in denial. But I don't know. Maybe we might have to watch the movie again to get a clear read on that. But I think that it leans towards no, he's actually just a good person,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Mm. So yeah, I think the whole going up, I think, would have been an easy thing to uh, cut to tighten up the movie a bit. Uh, I guess we didn't mention the runtime. It's 2 hours and 10 minutes or something. 2 hours seven
Yeah,
minutes, something along those
which is
lines.
not insane, but it's long for a horror movie.
I was pretty locked in the movie, and when I realized I'm only like halfway through, it's like, ooh, I feel like we're gonna peak soon, but there's like an hour left. So,
Although I gotta say, I mean, I don't know, the ending half hour of the movie is pretty damn good. Like,
uh,
unless you disagree, maybe we'll get there. But I thought that it ended on big crazy movie stuff happening that
oh
I
yeah,
thought
yeah,
was
yeah.
pretty wild. So it just I think some stuff in the middle probably could have been cut out. And I actually like I think on in the context of the whole going up side plot didn't really add much for you. I think that might have been the thing to the baby to kill, as it were. It's like as
Mm-hmm.
much as you want to give this extra layer to the story, I don't know that it really needed it, and it did definitely take up some time.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I also think that like his conflict of destroying that station, that was enough of a moral dilemma the character was in that we didn't
exactly.
really
Yeah.
need the extra, oh, and I gave people cancer. And I think the reason is because it like that one pretty clearly was not his fault because they didn't tell him how the camera works or say whatever you do, do not press the button when you're up in the station
Mm.
because it shouldn't work, but in the event that it does, you might end up really hurting people for no reason.
Yeah, and the thing is,
And
if you'd had the same scenario with a convicted killer, for example, that actually just did blow up the station, and then he just ends up hitting the button because he's going crazy of not wanting to go down there. Then it's like, oh yeah, we didn't tell you because we didn't want to just want you to nuke us all pretty much.
Yeah.
And then he figures that out, and he's like, "Oh." So that could have been could have worked, but I've never got the feeling that he's like some cold-hearted killer man. So yeah, I think that's a
Mhm.
pretty easy one to tighten the movie up with.
That would be a tricky balance to walk, though, because I think if
Hmm.
they did make him too morally reprehensible, we wouldn't really be rooting for his survival at all, and that's
Right,
kind of
right.
the main hook of the movie. Like we have to not want
It
him
would
to
be very
die.
different
It's
overall,
like,
for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, they just kind of drop him down because they're a bit angry, so he has a bit of a rough landing, and just starts exploring further. He goes back to the bones, and he gets.
I like that the rough landing was on purpose too. It's like
Oh yeah,
they
absolutely.
slam him down. The guy's like, "Yeah, sorry about that, though. I guess you kind of deserve it."
Yeah, and this is where he starts making his way down. I think right after he gets up from his rough landing into the waters, I think this is where he finds this note from his brother. I think it was. Though now I'm not sure anymore if it was like his actual brother or he just called the friend
No, I think
like
he
a
just calls
brother.
the guy brother,
Okay, okay.
because like he was in that same situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess probably from I don't know if that charm was from the Eden station, or because that seemed to have some significance to him, and I don't know
Oh
that I
yeah.
really got the context of it. That
Could you
what is it
make
like
out
a it's
what
a
was the?
flower.
Could you make out what was in the charm? Because I still have not really a good idea what it was.
I think it like I don't know. I'm having trouble kind of remembering it in my head. I'd need to see a picture of it, but I kind of remember it being like a flower on a vine or something like that. Like
Was it maybe like a leaf from that last
yeah,
tree they talk
leaf
about or
from the last
something?
tree.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I
or a
mean, yeah, the
seed.
last
Okay.
tree is kind of an important thing, I suppose, and that's, I guess, in one of the flashbacks that I was saying,
Mm.
I didn't really think they needed to do, but it seems like one of the reasons why his group of radicals does what they do is because the last literal last tree, it's not just like a it's not just a relic that they call the last tree, it's the last tree
Yeah.
in known existence dies, and that's when they're like, okay, yeah, no, we're totally screwed. Like all plant life is gone, and there's nothing but whoever's left that remains. So, and I think there's a group that I think is just totally fine with dying. Like it's like, yeah, no, we're just going to die here, and that's like the Eden station, which got some biblical references going there.
Mm-hmm.
I hear Eden is a thing in that their Genesis book.
Yeah. Wasn't there a brick-looking building in the Ocean Iron Lung game? I think I remember a picture like this, seeing
Yeah,
one of those in a playthrough or something. Yeah, I was kind of expecting that to be seen, but I guess that never does show up. Um, but yeah, he does find the like a little compartment. It's not a compartment; it's the just a latch he opens up, and like all the wiring is in there, and there's like four wires, and the note says to cross the wires. And this opens up a terminal with a voice message on there. Uh, I didn't fully understand everything that was said in there, but I guess the overall message is this is not an expedition to find something. They never intend for you to come back up. This is more
yeah,
like
it's an
an
execution.
execution.
Oh yeah,
And
so I guess yeah, it's a voice memo in the movie. I said that he finds the same note in the game. That's a note written on the ground that you
oh,
pick up.
okay, okay,
It's like handwritten.
okay. So yeah, but that's like a message that plays out, and he's very emotional about it, and it means a lot to him because of his friend who sent him like I guess one last message this way.
I think even not even a friend. I think it's just another convict that was just
Mm.
leaving that note for whoever the next person in this thing is.
Okay, okay. See, I didn't even catch that.
That's
Okay.
sort of what I got from it. Like like, almost like in V for Vendetta, like the
Mm-hmm.
note that like the lady slips through the wall on the toilet paper.
A lot of theaters have had issues with the audio. Yeah, same. That's like one of the big complaints I have. I had trouble understanding a lot of things. Yeah. Uh, it was my theater was fine. Interesting. Okay.
Well, see, that part I understood because I had read it in the game the day before. I had subtitles for that one 24 hours before I saw the movie.
That's like cheating.
I don't know.
Um. But yeah, he ends up at the place that has the skeleton, or at least that's where he thought it was, but it's gone. It's like, that's odd. He tells the guy's top side, and they just tell him, well, go look for it. Maybe, probably the currents just moved it to somewhere else. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm pretty sure it wasn't currents, but I guess I have no other choice, so I'll go and find it. And he does find it, and he's like, hey, I found it, so I just have to ram it in there. And he's like, yep. Oh,
Gets the job done.
that's what he does. He's like, just trust me, this is gonna hold. And obviously the tension is like, is the thing just gonna explode, or is it gonna work? But
Yeah, and I think yeah, this part had had some curiosities too because when he first kind of hits something and like I guess it's the living thing that's down there that strikes the ship. She's like, "Did you fall?" Like seems very concerned like, "Did anything happen that made you fall off of your chair?" And then he doesn't really specifically answer and then she's like, "Is there that means there could be a hull breach. Like look for a breach."
mm,
And I was like, "So there's that, but then you're also saying ram this thing as hard as you can. The hole will be fine." And I was like, does that make sense? Like really? Like, I was
yeah,
like, I don't know that I would have kept the hole breach thing in if the next thing you're going to tell him to do is ram into something as hard as he possibly can. But
right, yeah, that's a good point.
that's a line that I think caused a couple problems.
Yeah, see, I don't even remember that line. Uh,
It's before they pull him up, like
hmm
when he first kind of crashes. And then I guess also something we should touch on is during this whole time, he's also very specifically trying to tell them there's something alive down there,
yes.
and they almost like disregard it as if they're not listening to him in a way that was a bit bizarre.
Hmm.
That's
Um,
really I don't have anything specific to say about that.
no, no,
I was
you're
thinking
right
if I
though.
were him,
They,
I would take it a bit more seriously, and it's not really expressly made clear as if like do they know there's something alive down there and they're just kind of pretending they don't hear him or it's like well I mean if there is we still don't care you still have to go do this thing.
yeah. Um, any case, he's got the sample. Hooray! And
Yeah.
but before they can drag him up, he gets attacked again. But this time he gets dragged to some corner of the bottom of the ocean and gets completely knocked out and
Hmm.
wakes up later. I think this is where we get this short flashback from the space station when he was a child, when they talk about
Yeah,
this
where
last
he's like
tree.
knocked out.
Uh, I don't know. I think something that they will find a way, hope, or I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I couldn't really fully understand it, and that's just a thing I don't remember very well because I don't think it mattered that much in the end. But just another short thing you could have probably cut out, if you ask me, unless I forgot something super important from in there. But I think that's basically it. I don't know if you remember
Oh.
anything from that scene specifically that's a standout, but that's all I remembered.
No, like I think it was just a little sort of flashback to create
Hmm.
some world building but yeah I don't really think it gave enough context to really matter all that much.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know, but maybe those little hints about what the world is and how it works add a little bit because it does seem like the guy that there's like an older guy who seems like he's pretty radical in what he believes, even though the specifics of that aren't made super clear. And Markiplier is very clearly a child at this point,
Yeah.
so it's like was he just raised in like a group of like I don't know if anarchists is the right term, but like people that are trying to like overthrow the order of how things have been going in some way. So that's sort of what made it so that he didn't have much of a choice. But yeah, it's not. It's at no point made explicitly clear what the deal is with any of it. Although I guess maybe the one bit that was neat was when he says like, "Well, but there's stars in the sky that I can see," and the guy says it's the ghost light of dead stars,
Mm.
which would be tough to prove one way or the other. Like ghost light being it's light that existed as more light years ago than can be accounted for the distance those stars are away from where you're seeing it.
Mm.
If you know what I'm saying, like I don't know if that made any sense. That sentence sounded weird to me, but it light travels at a specific speed. So when a light is turned off hundreds of thousands of light years away, it might take hundreds of thousands of years for you to even see that that light is now off.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that being the ghost light of it, it's like technically something that's dead, but we're still seeing the light that was sent a specified amount of time ago that is relative to the distance of the star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not an astronomer. I think I get it a little.
No, I think you're right. About the basics there. I mean, that's as best as I could explain it. Uh, but hey, he wakes back up, but the engine and the lights are out. So now we're getting to spooky territory a little bit. Uh, and he goes around the sub. He checks like was like, oh, I'm injured here. I'm a bit fucked up. And he looks for tools and finds a little life vest, which when they first showed it, I found just cute. It's like, oh, a little life vest. That's funny. Obviously, this is going to be a tool he can use at some point here in a little bit. But it's funny. But even his reaction was like, really, life vest, and just throws it on
Yeah,
the side. It's like a really small one, a red one. Uh,
even like life vest in a submarine in general is not going to help you very much because
no.
if you've got a hull breach, that pressure is instantly killing you unless you're at like a reasonable depth.
Mm-hmm. He found some water, and he's like, "What? I had water this whole time," and he chucks like the whole bottle, and some painkiller, like some liquid painkiller. I think it said something on the tin, but I couldn't make it out.
I thought it was just alcohol.
Oh, it was just
Like,
alcohol? Oh, I thought it was
yeah,
painkillers.
75% alcohol.
Oh,
Like,
okay. Yeah, it could be that too.
it's
Fair, yeah.
antiseptic, but he also does decide, okay, I'm going to take a shot.
Yeah,
Which, man, that would be a rough drink.
yeah. And some bandages and duct tape. I think he finds. I think that's like the toolkit, and I think some scissors.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, because he got heated around from all the dragging around. So he opens up a little hatch on the ground and finds this crawl space, which has all the engines in there, and it's dark. And he uses the light on the vest that gets activated by water. The ones you get instructed by on airplanes, like here this light goes on when there's water on it. And he's like, ah, shit, I drank all the water. But then he just spits on it, and then it turns on. I was like, oh, yep, I guess that will work. uh, and he also uses the camera, which still works, so that still creates pictures, and it's a bit of light he can use, and he uses the duct tape to kind of fixate the button in place, so it keeps making pictures. So he has like some sort of light going on, and he goes into the crawl space. He goes in there. He looks for some. I think there's some sparks you can see, and he tries to find that. And like the lights and the sounds play like tricks on him. He kind of imagines, or at least I think that's what they're going for. He imagines that someone is in the submarine with him. Like it looks like there's like a shadow walking past the hatch he came in, and it's like, oh shit, what's going on? But
Oh
it's
yeah, that happens really early on in the movie too. Like it's what leads him to find that compartment. Like
oh
it's
shit, you're
almost like
right.
there
Yeah,
was someone walking. Yeah, we totally disregarded that
I
in
forgot about it. I'm not gonna
chronological
lie.
walkthrough.
Mm. Yeah, this is how he uh, checks out that corner. Um, so yeah, just a little spooky time. This is like one of the things where I expect like a big jump scare, but there's just a jump scare from the sparks that come up because I think he's like close to it, and the noise that happens is not like noise. It's just the sparks doing a noise, and that spooks him, and it spooked me. Not really, but it was like, it was a natural sound that was created by the place he's in right now that made the noise. And it's not just some random shit that they edited in afterwards. It goes like, oogly boogly boogly boo. Do you know what I mean? It's not like one of these
Yeah.
stupid ones. Um, so yeah, he ends up finding the engine restart button, pretty much. I think that's what it said on it. And he starts it up. I think he just has like to pump on it or something, and then he has to press a button, and that turns it on. And he's got some light
Yeah, it kind
again.
of reminds me of the I don't know if this was a specific reference, but it looks pretty similar to the backup generator in the original Jurassic Park, where you have to kind of like pump the thing a bit and then turn it on.
Yeah.
where they find Samuel Jackson's arm. He was trying to do it, but spoilers for Jurassic Park, the good one, the only one.
So yeah, engines are running again. He goes back to the main room, you could say. And now the sound boxes keeps saying stuff that's like hull breach, hull breach, hull breach, and he realizes that the shutter of the window is open and the glass is cracking, and he quickly goes to close it, but there's still some moon blood that's squirting into his face, which uh, leads to him having a bit of a breakdown here because he almost died. It's like, yeah, you know
Yeah,
what, I get that. That's fair enough.
it was quite the image too of like the one like sort of high pressure blood spurt
Yeah,
that just like hits him right in the face. It's like, oh man, that was
yeah. Which
done pretty well.
probably also ties into his delusion slash concussion thingies, because the that moon blood is not just weird red water blood stuff. It actually just does things to your body, which will lead to some pretty neat body horror stuff at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
So, let me see. Wait, what did I say? Oh, the engine was restarted and the blood squirted in his face.
yeah, the
Um,
breach in the window,
yeah,
the
but
port hole.
after some while, he decides to soldier on, and he uses some of the paper in the folders and his pen to make a little grid for himself, and he starts mapping out the place to find a way out. And on the way, he finds some weird alien stuff, marks it on the map, and he also finds another submarine, the SM-8 or something along those lines, I think it was. Um,
Yeah, I think that was it. SM8.
and because he crossed
Could be
those
wrong.
wires that activated a terminal which shouldn't be on, and it tries to connect to that submarine, but
Yeah,
he does not
it is
have the
attempting to download some data,
yeah, but he
but
does not have the rights. He does not have root permission to get the data from their black box. And
and this is probably like one of the only moments of comedy in the movie when he's like just trying to type in the password
yeah,
for like to
password
get,
one.
and then he just types "fuck you."
Yeah.
I was like, that gave me a little chuckle in a movie that doesn't have a lot of laughs in it. I thought
Password
that,
one actually made me laugh more than the fuck you.
yeah,
That was like
yeah,
password
that's
one. I was
true.
like, that's fair enough. Bro's not administrator. Pretty much, yeah. Uh, I do really love how analog everything is. Would have flipped out if a hologram popped up Star Wars style. That would have been so tone deaf. I would have been so disappointed in Markiplier if he would have done that. Um, also, I'm not sure. At some point, he unlocks the picture gallery from the pictures he's taken while he's going around right now. I don't remember how that one unlocked because he gets the root permissions later on. I just cannot remember how he got into the picture gallery anymore. I
Well, I
don't.
mean, I guess the picture gallery being like on his ship and him having access to use of the camera it makes it like not something you need super high level access for.
I guess so.
But
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
yeah,
I just can't remember how he got to that thing anyway, because I don't remember him doing anything on the terminal after a while. Did he just randomly punch it and he got there? I legitimately do not remember uh, if that was just a random thing he just happened to stumble upon or not. I just don't remember. Maybe someone in chat remembers who's maybe seen the movie like today or something.
yeah,
Uh,
same too. I don't remember clearly enough to give you a firm answer on it.
yeah,
But
I'm just
it does have like a little like kind of dial that he can switch through them really quickly too.
yeah, because he does that when he gets like the root access, because he looks at some of the pictures of the other submarine, I think, but it's like, ah, it doesn't matter anyway, and then he just kind of rolls it, and it's like just cycles through. So I just don't remember how he got to that specific screen. I guess he
Nor do
slammed on the
I.
keyboard apparently. Okay, so it was a bit random
Eh,
then. Okay.
every so often that works.
um. At some point, he realizes that he went in a circle. And the reason I pointed the gallery is because he then uses the gallery to look through the pictures, and this is where you realize that there might be a small little fork he can go through, and it's a bit small, but he ends up fitting through it, and he goes through. Um, so yeah.
There's another detail that we did
Mm-hmm.
kind of miss though that was at least slightly important. One of the ways that he gets light in which to see his way into the crawl space is he duct tapes over like an X over the button that takes the photos,
No, I said that.
because when the photos did we?
I said that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Oh,
I
okay.
did.
Yeah, I sort of don't remember discussing that. My fault.
Yeah, I mean, I would have gone back to it later when he needs the light again. Actually, I think this is actually now. I mean, yeah, in the crawl space he does that. If I didn't say that, he did that with the thing, and at some point it fell off. Uh, so that's why.
Yeah, I think though the reason I was bringing up now is because it's relevant that there are photos that he did not see when they were being taken,
Hmm.
because like there was a good amount of time where just photos were being taken every couple seconds, and that's why him being looking through the photos and seeing something new actually isn't totally nonsensical and silly.
Yeah, and while he's mapping out the area, uh, they have like a scene where he just kind of maps out the place, and he keeps using new duct tape, and that just kind of annoyed me because he didn't use more duct tape to just fixate the first X with like more duct tape across so it doesn't fall off. Okay, instead he just used up all the duct tape and just made the same X over and over again, so it just peeled off every time. That just seemed a bit
Yeah, that's true.
stupid to do.
Making try an asterisk instead of just an X.
Yeah, just have the X, and then at the end of the axis, just put some things across, just to get the tension away from the thing. I don't know. It was just a bit weird. Um, he makes it through the little crawl space, the little space, and he ends up getting another radio connection where he talks to Ava. And this is where it gets a bit weird because she says, "Oh, you've been gone for like a couple of days, and actually it doesn't make any sense anymore that you're alive because of the lack of oxygen." And the answer we get for this is just, "Yeah, we have no idea how this turned out to be." Uh, I don't know if there's supposed to be some cosmic shenanigans that's going on, like time dilution, flammery, but it could also just be a lampshade because we don't really have anything that there is some kind of time dilution thing going on. And at one point, the
I
oxygen meter even goes up by one, and I have actually no idea what the fuck that was about or why this happened. So that was just a big question mark for me at the time.
ah Jojo, no. Sorry to hear
No,
Jojo barking. How's my mic doing hiding that actually?
only
Jojo.
when you started talking.
Ah. Like I think there is an implication that the cosmic horror shit that is in this ocean has like turned the Iron Lung sub into like a semi-organic being that
Okay.
is really expanded on by the end, and that it is the blood that is supplying the ship with oxygen now.
Okay.
When like the depth gauge kind of fills up with blood as well too, and that somehow refills his oxygen. I think the idea is that the ship is not just a ship anymore. It is mutated into something else.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, I have no better explanation. So yeah, maybe.
That's sort of what I got from it.
Right. 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 Uh, and this is where they have their conclusion of their relationship, where they get some common ground, realize that if he actually did find this submarine SM-8, that could have some super valuable information in its backlog. And after agreeing that, okay, all the things have happened, you BS'd me, I have this terminal, I shouldn't be allowed to be, that shouldn't even be online. You didn't tell me anything, I got some other things going on. Uh, and in the end, they just agree, yeah, you seem to be close enough to the sub. We can give you 30 minutes and get the black box downloaded. We give you the password, and when you come back, we meet you halfway and get you out of there, and you'll be free. And it's just been like a bit of a through line where he says like, "Okay, do this and I'll be free," and she just keeps saying, "Yeah, we'll get you back up." She never actually says, "You'll be free."
Yeah,
But
but this time she actually does explicitly say, "Yes, we're not going to screw you on
yeah,
this one." Which I mean, I guess, does a decent job of at least proving that the data from this other sub is that important to them. That it's like we're actually not going to mess with you this time. Like you're going to be free for real, and it's
yeah,
it's it's worth it because we need this data.
yeah. So in between like all of the scenes I've been like describing, there's just a lot of stuff he's just doing, like mapping out the things and doing. I don't know. Takes pictures, looks at the pictures. There's a lot of like, not necessarily dead air, but a bit of repetition going on. Just a bunch of stuff where you could just cut out like 30 seconds here, 30 seconds there, just to tighten it all up a little bit. Like there's a lot of visuals and stuff happening, so that you have to see. You know what I mean? Like he's just doing his thing, and it's not like awful or anything, but because the runtime is already pretty long for this movie, I feel like you could have all like tightened this up in like all the places almost. Like
Yeah,
everything
and
goes
that
just
stuff, if not bringing it down to like 90 minutes, it probably could have bumped it down from 210 to a clean 2 at least.
yeah, yeah. So just like small things like that, you could have just tightened up. Also, before he gets to the radio connection and does all the mapping out, while he does that, we I don't remember the exact moment when, but at some point he has a conversation with what he thinks is a surviving submarine pilot he found down there, and they just talk about how what the point is, and there is no real hope, and anything is fucked anyway, and I don't really like that everyone is just dying. Um, but it just concludes with Simon just saying, it's like, I would just like to live, and why is that so much to ask for? Which I think was like the line in the trailer uh, going on. But he does realize that the radio box is unplugged this whole time. But he did get some coordinates because the lady on the other side talks about some crazy thing she's found, and it all makes sense if you see it, and it's gonna, if you find and go there, you're gonna prevail and everything will make sense. And ooh, which I think that's like this is like their version of or this leads to the version of the ending with the bright light that sucks you in. I think that's like their version of it. Um, because he goes to the coordinates and there is some light going on, and it goes a bit nuts here. He's how was it? He like wakes up in like a big ocean of blood. He just
Yeah,
rises
and
up from it like
chain.
he woke up in the Matrix pod. I think it's like the
Yeah,
best
kind
thing
of.
to compare it to.
Yeah, he's like handcuffed into the blood ocean, and there's like not exactly a Cthulhu, but an eldritch horror of sorts in front of him, and
Mm-hmm.
seems like he's effectively just entered hell for a little bit, and yeah, it's creepy and definitely makes you wonder about the mechanics of everything that happens afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought it was pretty effective as a horror scene though. Like, and definitely made me be like, oh shit, no, this is getting really bad. Like
Yeah, yeah,
maybe seeing that light wasn't necessarily the best thing for you, which it's kind of a typical sort of Lovecraftian thing of like once you see it, that's when it's most horrific. Like the madness takes over, and
yeah.
he
It's like,
definitely is going a little nuts at this point in the film too. Like
oh
it's
yeah, his mental state is deteriorating rapidly here because he's been just going around trying to find a way out of this wherever he is, um, always having an eye of it on his oxygen and stuff like that. And yeah, again, he talks to like a fictional person on the radio box that's not really there, which he kind of thinks about while he's having that conversation. It's like I'm not even sure if you're real, uh, but might as well speak my mind because I'm feeling awful. Um, but he ends up waking up and vomiting up some blood, which makes you wonder because he checks the radio when Ava actually calls him, like a real person calls him, and he checks the radio. It's like, oh wait, it's plugged in again.
Yeah.
So now we got a bit of I don't know, like the question, was the light thing, was that in his head? But if it was, because he was just squirted with this blood, and the blood does weird things to your body, was there maybe something going on with the Cthulhu stuff or the Lovecraftian stuff he's seen? Is that a thing? Or was that actually just a concussion slash hallucination of loneliness kind of dealio because he fell unconscious while having a concussion or something? You know what I mean?
I am on team. Yes, very clearly there's Lovecraftian
Okay.
stuff happening. That and I think the voice he was talking to was. I mean, I think it's pretty clear that it wasn't the surviving pilot of a different sub.
Hmm.
I think it was the monster that he was talking to, the elder god, whatever term you want to apply to the Cthulhu thing.
Yeah, yeah. I think
And it
I could be
doesn't look
argued
like
either way,
Cthulhu, but
honestly. Um, but because of the blood is doing weird things to you, I'm slightly leaning towards your thing as well. That he's trying to get him to, I don't know, just die down there and see the light, if you will, you know.
yeah, and I think that that's the thing, right? It's like it wants him to see the light so that it will then, I guess, own him at that point and like have another one of the apparently many humans who have been I'm assumed due to the again all this is just kind of reading into information not explicitly stated, but the quiet rapture I think brought all those humans to this moon or one of these moons, and that's why it's an ocean of. I think at this point we find out human blood. Oh wait, no, that's when he. Wait, hold on.
Hmm?
Has he gotten? Because it's when he gets to the ship that you find out that the blood is human blood, and that's why they can synthesize food out of that blood, but they shouldn't because
Mm.
they find out it is all human blood on this moon, which
I don't
there's
even
definitely got to be.
remember. When did they say that? I legitimately do not remember that at all. Maybe
There's
it just.
it's one of the audio logs that he gets when he downloads the stuff from the black box, which I
See,
think we
then I
might
probably
not be
just
there
didn't
yet, but
understand what they were saying, so I don't remember it because of the audio.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that much I did get, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's creepy."
Okay.
But
Okay. Yeah, that's creepy. Oh damn. See, this is why it sucks I couldn't hear it because that's creepy and cool. um. Yeah. That's a shame. I would like to hear that. But yeah, he as just pointed out, he gets to the ship again, connects to it. He gets the password. It's like a little amusing party as well because he gets the password and she says it like super quickly and he's like, sorry, what? Control shift, what? It's like, and then she says the password, but then he types it in on the first try, which is bullshit. I don't believe you.
yeah, I have trouble typing in my passwords on the first try, and I just explicitly know them.
Yeah. uh, yeah, he downloads all the data on there and he starts making his way back. But he also, I think this is he's now getting chased by the monster. Wait, I think no, there was like I think of another part right now. There's like one part where I think it's after he wakes up after being dragged down. Starts making pictures and he sees like the big monster right in front of him, and then he keeps making pictures and then just disappears. And he's just like, yeah, just ignore me, just pretend I'm not here. That's yep, I like that.
Yeah, it moves a little bit further away on the second picture, and then it's gone, and you're like,
Yeah. There's actually one thing, and I talked with Muller about this, and we agreed in terms of payoffs. There's one thing in the game where you take a picture and there's just a big fucking eye on your screen, which is fucking creepy as shit and is awesome. They don't do
yeah,
that one in the movie, and I was waiting for that one. That was a bit disappointing. They do the eye when the shutter is back up when it wasn't supposed to be. I think they have like an eye there, and I think at some
Mhm.
point somewhere else. I would have loved if we've had um the eye payoff here at some point. He just looks at it and he's like, "Oh shit." I think it would have been cool because it's just visually very striking because it shows like
Yeah,
the
I feel like I have seen that, but I'm actually not sure if it's in the playthrough I actually
Mhm.
did or right when I finished the movie. Actually, I got home and I was watching some of Markiplier's stream of this game,
Ah,
which
okay, cool.
was kind of neat to see because
Hmm.
it's like he's playing it for the first time, and like I have the context of knowing that he's going to eventually make a feature-length movie about this
Yeah,
game.
but yeah, it was kind of sad that wasn't in there. I think that would have been a cool payoff. Uh, yeah, he gets the data and he starts making his way back. And does he get chased immediately, or does he just make it back fine until he gets to meet up with Ava halfway? Because that's when shit gets starts to get crazy. The last 10 minutes.
Mhm.
Uh,
I'm. I don't know. Is he not being? I feel like he's being chased the whole time, isn't he?
right. Yeah. 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 So I think so. See this. It's not on streaming yet, unfortunately, so I couldn't rewatch it, which I would have loved to do. I'm sure it's going to be out on streaming soon, though, because it only has like the limited release in the cinemas. I wonder if they extend the release because it's doing so well. That would be fun.
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
Though I think it's one of those things that like if they've made like 10x their budget back, it's maybe like okay, maybe we should just throw this on streaming while it's still like hot popular thing so that everyone that
Yeah. True.
isn't going to go out to the theater to see it will just like I don't know, rent it on Amazon or Apple or whatever.
Maybe just puts
Like
it on
if
his
you don't
YouTube
have it on
channel.
like Netflix, but oh god, yeah. Oh man, yeah. That would probably be the move.
Yeah. Yeah, as Jim Finch has just said, maybe upload onto his channel since Mark edited the film himself. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't think there's like a major studio behind even the
No.
release of this movie other than like just him because I hear he like self-financed it too, so
Yeah,
wasn't
he's
didn't get investors, didn't get like a Kickstarter going. It was just no,
pretty
got a
much
bunch
all
of
him.
money. I'm just gonna make
Yeah.
this movie.
Uh, while we're at eyes, Markiplier mentioned on the Distractable podcast that his eyes got infected or some stuff because of the bloodbath. I think I heard that too. Yeah, I think I heard a clip of that. Uh, yeah, they used a lot of fake blood in this one, and he went straight in there.
Yeah, I think Universal Comp says did Markiplier do the sound? I do not believe he is responsible for the sound mixing. Though I mean the sound of this movie is kind of interesting in that the sound design is actually quite good. It's just some of the audio mixing for the dialogue sucks. And the score is quite good, and also done by a guy who I'm very fond of, Andrew Holsholt, who
Hmm.
has done. He did the music for basically all of like the New Blood shooters, like Dusk and a Medieval and stuff, and he did the Ancient Gods DLC for Doom Eternal after Mick Gordon and id had that big falling out. He's a big like first person shooter guy. His big claim to fame originally was he made an album called IDKFA, which was like a real instrument cover album of all the music from the original Doom games.
Oh, okay, nice.
And yeah. And I used to actually use his music in any video I was making that was not about a specific game because I found video game music doesn't get claimed. And
Hmm.
we had a couple Twitter DMs where I told him about that and said, yeah, like, is it okay if I use your music in these videos, but just I'll throw your Bandcamp link in the description? And he was like, yeah, no, that's totally fine. So I think he's a nice guy, and I think the track that plays towards the end action movie is like really, really pretty awesome. It's kind of an
Nice.
industrial rock sort of jam. And yeah, Redcap Andrew Holsholt was part of this. He did the music for the game as well as the film.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I mean, might as well get the people who worked on the game with all the audio and stuff and get them in the movie. Makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. They have a good feel about how to make it right. So yeah, do that. That's always a
Yeah,
good
we do have
move.
issues with the dialogue mixing, though.
Yeah.
That was a problem in this film in a couple moments that made it difficult to hear what was being said. But might be solved when the movie's out on digital or Blu-ray or something, because you can just turn on subtitles.
Yes. Um. In any case, he gets to that halfway point, and he meets with Ava. He's like, quickly get the data going, but he's at this point there's like all kinds of shit going on in the submarine. There's like blood on the walls that starts to do weird shit. It just, as you said, turns into like organic stuff. Um, and it even fixated the camera button, so it keeps making pictures, keeps taking pictures. Uh, and you just see the big monster starting to eat that other submarine, and Eivor starts yelling at him, like, make sure the black box is fine, there's info in there that's like could be the hope for humanity to do something. uh, and he apologizes that they can't get him out there anymore, it's not possible now. Just make sure this thing is safe and reaches the surface somehow in order for them to get the information and hopefully do something with it to get humanity to some kind of safety or give them some kind of hope to do whatever with that information. And we see continuous pictures of the submarine getting crunched and crunched. And then at some point you hear just a thud and the radio goes silent, and, well, the monster is bitten down. Pretty cool. I think that was awesome.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but now he's next, and he's already not doing great. The hull is not doing great either, and he kind of starts his last front against the big monster. He still has like the ramming thing in front of his submarine, I think is the idea.
Yeah, the
And
probe.
he I guess he just uses that to full throttle ram the big monster to stun it for long enough to go into the crawl space and get out the black box, which he's seen earlier in the movie when he first went down there.
Mhm.
So he knows where it is. That's, I think it's important to mention. He just knows where he doesn't know where it is. Uh, Unfortunately, because the submarine has taken so much blood, the crawl space is almost completely blooded up. There's just a big sea of blood down there. And he dives inside. At this point, he's like, yep, this is going to be my last frontier, my last act of rebellion, uh, to get this up to the surface, the black box. And it's the pretty classic rising tide meme, if you will. He's like crawling in. He has to go all the way to the back and back to the front to get the thing out. He rips it out. Everything goes completely underwater down there, under blood, water, whatever you want to call it. And he
Yeah.
emerges fully covered in the blood. Maybe this is where he got the eye infection from, because this is where he's like completely covered in the blood. Uh, I think somewhere before, yeah, it must be somewhere before this. He gets like a droplet of the blood on his forehead, and it cuts him. And this is where he realizes that the blood is doing bad things to his body, because he also
Oh
removes
yeah.
removes the bandages at some point, and it's like all bubbled up, starting to
Yeah, it
bleed.
looks like his
And
skin's all blistering, and
yeah,
yeah, looks pretty gory and body horror-y.
absolutely. Looks pretty good too. They did a
Yeah.
pretty banger job, and there's more body horror to come here. Not super duper gory, but just visually striking, because he gets that thing out, but the I guess the Cthulhu blood, the Space Moon Cthulhu blood, is trying to bind him into the iron lung, so he cannot get this black box secure to any degree. Because his plan at this point is, I have this life vest. I'm just gonna use whatever I have here, the rest of the duct tape or some cables. I'm actually not entirely sure what he used to fixate it more. It's just a little detail I like, because the vest is not gonna fully stay on that thing, so he needs something extra to fix it on there. So he does that. and he knows he's not getting out of this alive. But before anything is happening, he's like he has like one hand on the one pipe on the right, the other one on the other side on the pipe, and he's like kind of suctioned onto it with like all the blood tentacle stuff that's going on. But he rips the one side off, but the other one is already like super tight on there. But because the blood is just kind of deteriorating his body, it just kind of starts yanking on it, and he rips like half his arm off, which I did not expect. I was like, "Ooh, shit, okay." Uh, Also, apparently, there's a specific shot in the movie where the camera is just on his eye while blood is going in it. That's the moment he got an infection. Ah, okay, okay, okay. Well, there you go. Well, that's what.
I think it's like, or maybe it's right before he sends the thing up, but I think he also at some point says it's not about me, which
Mm-hmm.
I thought was kind of a neat way to wrap up his primary goal not now being survival, but being doing anything he can possibly do to get valuable information to the people who remain,
Mm-hmm.
and potentially information that could let them kill this monster and stop the bad stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, he's one armed, and he just keeps fixing the vest on there. He gets that done, and now it's like, okay, what do I do now? How do I make sure this actually gets out? And the plan is essentially open up the shutter on the window, make it break, and just hope it gets out of there. And yeah, the submarine gets bitten on, and I think it did just fade to black at some point after all kinds of crazy rattling and eating away on the submarine is happening.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, the like I said, the sub's like kind of mutating at this point. Like there's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
veins going through it, and it's it's hard to tell what in the environment is still just like human built submarine and what
Yeah.
is mutated eldritch monster,
Yeah. Also, good point
especially
from
at this
chat.
point in the movie.
It looks like one of his eyes is kind of being melted, which was what. Yeah,
Mm,
I think his face looked kind of fucked at some point. Uh, you can't really super well see it because they do a bunch of shaky camera here, where at some points I was like, I'm not entirely sure what was going on, but shit is being destroyed. That's the main takeaway I've gotten.
mhm.
Um,
And yeah, very dark lighting too. It's
yes,
this is a part that is effectively conveyed as tense and confusing, but
pretty much, yeah.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, he does die. No happy ending for him or Ava or any of the old pilots down here. And the
Yeah.
ending shot of the movie is just seeing the vest with the black box floating on top, and I think you hear like a boat or something approach, and it seems like they did get the black box. But
Yeah.
we have a still mystery because we don't actually know what the information could specifically be that would help them. Maybe it was something with the light. They saw the anomaly of some sorts, and the big Cthulhu monster was trying to stop them from getting it. So maybe it was important enough. Who knows? That's for after the movie happens to the side. But who knows if humanity's even being able to be saved? Because if they don't have enough to feed each other or to rebuild, uh, not looking great for humanity.
No, but I guess like that's the idea
Mm-hmm.
being that that black box could be hope, that
Mm-hmm.
he
Mm-hmm.
may have actually sent them
Yeah.
something that could at least let humanity survive, as opposed to maybe not totally fix everything and, make everything exactly the way it was, but possibly let them defeat the monster who might be behind all of this. At least that's kind of what I got from it.
Yep. Just the box of hope. And well, that's how Iron Lung ends.
Yeah, and that is the movie.
That is the movie indeed. So yeah, for the very first movie to make, uh, not bad, not bad at all. I mean, I'll
Yeah.
happily call it good. Um, I think there's a movie in here that could actually be like great, especially if you just tighten it up a bit, maybe switch a bit of character stuff. I mean, Simon is like fine as a character, but I wonder if we could have gone a little bit differently with his characteristics, because he just seems to be like normal-ish guy for the most part.
Hmm.
Um, but it's not awful or anything. I feel like you uh could have done some more here. I mean, just tightening up the movie to a lower runtime, I think would help immensely to just make it
Yeah,
flow a
I
bit
think so too.
better. I think a bunch of the like backstory thing is like not really that necessary. It's like fine, but if we look at the balance of adding another 10 minutes or make the movie flow better and make it a bit of a better experience, I think making this movie tighter would win out at this point, because I don't think any of the information is that important
Yeah,
to
and
make the
that's what I
movie
was gonna
better.
add.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, as much as like considering how big the world building is in this movie, I'm almost reluctant to say cutting out some of the world building would be a bad idea. But I think for what we get and how vague the rules of this universe still end up being, I don't think the flashbacks really added much except for runtime.
Yeah.
But
Uh, yeah. Mark himself said this
you
movie
know,
has
like
glaring flaws, but he learned from the experience, which I appreciate. A creative who acknowledges the problems. Yeah, that's just a good mentality
that's how
to
you get
have.
better. Yeah.
Yeah, that is how you do better. And I hope he does something else. I hope he does more, because for a first movie, that's pretty good. Like honestly,
Yeah,
um,
like I mean, I don't think there is a world in which a YouTuber making a passion project, written, directed, and starring movie turns out much better than this. Like it's like the odds of this being bad were actually pretty high, but yeah, I think that it definitely is very much helped by a narrow scope and like strong focus on like just one character, one environment, and specific stakes
yes,
where which I mean, I guess like that, and that becomes a little bit trickier as the movie goes on, where it's like, okay, what exactly are the stakes? Are we talking about him surviving? Or are we talking about him just getting information? But for most of the movie, like a vast majority of its runtime, it's just, is this guy going to be able to get the things that he needs in order to be let out of this situation and not die? And yeah, that carries you through a whole lot of it without it seeming like there's a million different factors that you need to be accounting for, like a lot
mm-hmm.
of movies tend to do, or it's just like let's throw more script in here so that there's things happening. And I think that a movie where there's kind of just one thing happening, guy in submarine looking for information about mysterious moon in a
Yeah,
blood ocean. Yeah, like it's good. I think I'd very much recommend going to see it if you have any interest in it, and I'm probably going to pick it up on Blu-ray if they do a physical release at some point. Like I liked it enough for that.
yeah, that would be
I would
cool.
not be saying, "Oh, this is the best horror movie ever made. You need
No,
to
no,
see it now." Absolutely go out, even if it doesn't sound like your kind of movie, because it's that good. But yeah, I would definitely say that if it seems like your kind of thing, you probably will not regret the ticket price.
no, probably not. It's definitely a way better experience than most of the Hollywood slop you get these days. And
Oh, for
again,
sure.
self funded, self distributed, self written. It's just a complete passion project, and it's been doing incredibly well. And yeah, it's a decent movie. It is.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think the other thing I would probably, I don't know, work on in this kind of thing is, or this one specifically is like this, the relationship between like Ava and Simon. I wasn't really invested in that. I was just more interested in, the more of the spooky stuff down here and what that might mean
Yeah.
for him to get out of there. It's just I don't know, it was a bit iffy. It was a bit iffy. I wasn't really invested in that too much. But yeah, I like he. I like he. I
Yeah.
would give it a shot if you like some horror stuff, or if you're just a fan of the game. I think this is just a good addition to this. I don't know if you could call it a franchise, but that IP, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, I think IP is probably
Yeah.
the term because it's not there's not been more than one Iron Lung game, and the movie does affect.
Oh.
Sorry,
Okay.
the movie does. Sorry, I was actually testing my mute button and forgot that I was talking. I'm an idiot. Anyways, just because JoJo was growling at Rocky, so I was trying to make sure I could mute easily. But yeah, I think that it's there's not been more than one game or more than one movie that sort of covers the same story as the games. But yeah, I think intellectual property or would probably be better than franchise, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of crazy that like a tiny indie game that did pretty well eventually became a tiny indie movie that seems to be doing pretty well.
Yeah.
And yeah, as much as a Dusk movie would definitely be a lot more complicated, involve tons of action and way more actors and characters. Yeah, I would like to see David Zemansky's other game that I absolutely love made into a movie at some point. I think that'd be cool.
Hmm. Yeah. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Let's see. I think that's all I have. Yeah, I wish I could have rewatched it as well. I think it would have been cool. Just to get some
Oh,
more of the
actually,
dialogue.
in chat,
Yes.
God, this name. Fartleby. No, okay, I'm not saying that. But anyways, he says there's some shared universe stuff between Iron Lung and Dusk. So there is one moment in the movie where like a bunch of crazy stuff is happening, kind of maybe about 20 minutes before the end, where I swear I saw the symbol of the cult from Dusk pop up on like
Oh,
the
okay.
monitors or gauges. I don't like obviously I couldn't rewind or like stop and pause, but and I don't know if that was just my mind playing tricks on me because I love Dusk a lot and I know that this is made by the same team. But yeah, I mean I guess it is possible that the quiet rapture was caused by the cult in Dusk successfully pulling off a ritual of sorts. So and I think that's a neat angle.
Yeah, maybe.
Play Dusk though, it's a good shooter. It's really good.
We do like good shooters here. Um, yeah, there you go. That's that. I think we got a super chat here at some point. Let me check. Yeah, it's more than $5 from MA. Thank you very much. What the hell is this? I told you guys to cover Iron Sky, not Iron Lung. Ah, damn it.
We
Yeah,
were close.
it's
Close
close
enough.
enough. It's both moons.
Yeah. Thank you for the support, though. We do really appreciate it.
Appreciated, yes.
Hey, Rock.
Tender Insomnia from New Blood has FMV horror cutscenes, so that's close. Oh, okay.
I have actually not played that. Although,
Um,
I guess, like speaking of New Blood, apparently Blood West, which is another one of their games, was free on Epic, and it ended up selling like crazy on Steam that week.
oh,
I
okay.
found that kind of funny. But like, so it's other people got the free version on Epic, played a little bit of it, was like, yeah, this is good, and then went over and bought it on Steam, or they just got notified about it because of it being free on Epic, and then just said, oh, cool, free on Epic, bought on Steam.
Hey, I really need to play Soma. Yes, yes, you do.
It's a good one. Don't look
I
anything up though, because
I
you don't
would
know
I
how
would
it
actually
ends.
like Markiplier to make a Soma movie. Uh, he understands that video game to a degree where I kind of trust him to make one. I think that would be cool. Just have one in general
I
as
mean,
a,
without discussing the ending too much, is there a way to tell some story unless you're doing like first person POV?
I don't know. I don't know. Might be a way. I think you can pull it off. Don't need to think about it though.
Maybe. Yeah, it would be tough to discuss without spoiling the game though. So
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, I really do hope Mark makes more movies. Me too. Me too, man. This was it was pretty good. And if he learned as well, I'm actually kind of curious to see what he would do next and what he learned.
I mean, yeah, I think considering the success of this one,
Hmm.
it's probably pretty likely he'll make another one. But yeah, I think for the next little bit, he's probably just going to be riding the wave of like, yeah, I made a film that people didn't absolutely hate.
Yeah,
Though I think didn't like I think I saw somewhere like I didn't read the review or anything. I just saw a Twitter post that was sharing. Apparently, like IGN gave it a 4.
they
I was like,
did. Yeah,
out of 10. Yeah, I was like, really?
of
Of the
course they
things you've given nines to, you think this is a 4?
did. Yeah,
Did
four
Markiplier
is
like piss
bad
someone at
on their
IGN off, or
4 is just straight up bad on their scale. So whatever.
6 is straight up bad. 4 is like we're trying to send a message.
Ah, man. Well, there you have it. I think that's all I got for today. Do you got anything else
Yeah,
to
same.
add?
No, no, not really. I think we pretty much covered everything, unless we're missing something. But yeah, I don't know. In conclusion, yeah, go see this movie if you're interested in the concept, or
Or if it's
yeah,
still, in the cinemas, which I'm not sure
mm,
actually. That might just been a 2 day thing. I don't know.
yeah, or watch it on streaming. Just definitely not the kind of movie you want to be like tapping away at your phone while watching, because you really do kind of need to lock in to get the atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, you got anything going on you want to tell the people about
Yeah,
before we
no,
run
not
out of
really. Just
here?
board stuff. We got our Return to Silent Hill episode. It is next week, right? I'm not like
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
those
yeah.
dates mixed up.
That's what's on my
Yeah,
whiteboard at least. Yeah.
and Max Darrett's coming back to talk to us about some more Silent Hill stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I hear this movie is not good, so yeah, I'm
Yay.
it's kind of funny to think that like of the two video game adaptations that are out right now, the Iron Lung one is the, the more successful and high quality than Silent Hill, but you know,
Apparently,
sometimes that happens.
I think Iron Lung is beating like that Millennia documentary and some other movie from I forgot the other one. It's like actually from a big director. Maybe Chad can help me out. Uh, but yeah, it's doing pretty well. So
Yeah,
yay, Millennia. Yes, the first lady of America, I guess. Has some
Blade of Metal.
documentary out. I don't know anything about it. I've heard people say it's just incredibly fucking boring. So I don't know.
Well, you can cover that one alone. You can solo Millennia, as it
I
were.
mean, I'm not jumping on the bits to go watch that. I didn't even know that existed until yesterday. So
I was I was just making an Elden Ring joke.
oh fuck, of course. Yeah. Oh. All right, we're out of here, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the super chats. Appreciate it. And
Yeah,
yeah,
take it easy, everybody.
I'll be back
Thank you
with
very much
some
for joining.
streams. Finish up Forspoken
Yeah.
DLC, and it's my birthday on Thursday, which I'll probably start
Oh,
playing Dustborn.
happy birthday, I guess.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Bye, bye, bye.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.